except stats.
Which if you were going into film, you never would have had to take stats, right?
No, but I was going into psychology at the time.
Yeah.
And that level of math qualified me for graduation at Snow College. It met the requirements. But there were normally prereqs to get to that one, because people don't normally just take stats, they have to work to get to stats. So there were prereqs for it, but I emailed the professor, I was like, yo, actually I think they required like a 24 in your math for the ACT to bypass algebra and stuff. I got a 23 in my math. So I emailed the professor, I was like, yo, I got a 23 on my ACT, I'm not quite there, but I'm pretty sure I could handle whatever you got to throw at me. I got to calculus in high school. And he's like, okay, add the class. If you fall behind, we'll deal with it. But if you can manage it, that's fine. So I added the class, and I took it. I graduated.
Wow.
And that's the story of how I haven't had to take any math classes in college.
See, math was like always one of my hardest. Actually, what was I watching the other day? I was watching some sort of movie and they were doing, I think, it was Even Stevens, and they were helping him with math. And I was like, and I sometimes long for math. Like algebra. Like, I loved Algebra 1.
Really?
I was, yeah. The only time I've ever gotten, like, this was above anybody else. I got the best student in Algebra 1. I love algebra. Like, geometry, I can't do geometry. I'm really bad with, like, measuring and percentages and stuff like that.
I loved geometry.
See, I hate geometry, but I love finding X and Y. I could just sit there all day and do those. Like, I love formulas.
You know,
Not that I remember
geometry is just algebra with environment.
Yeah, I hate environment.
You know what, though? At least you never had to take non-Euclidean geometry.
He was just watching you.
You never had to take non-Euclidean.
What is that?
So geometry is actually useless in this world because geometry takes place in a perfect world where everything is straight lines and two-dimensional. That's what you would call Euclidean geometry. But non-Euclidean geometry is geometry that takes place in a three-dimensional world where there are actually no straight lines, because if you draw a line across the ground on the earth, is that line straight? Nope, it's slightly curved because the earth is curved. So non-Euclidean geometry is same as normal geometry, but in a three-dimensional curved space.
That sounds horrible.
Yep. I was listening, it was basically like a TED Talk. It was a forum. And this woman was talking about non-Euclidean geometry. And she's like, see, in classic geometry, two parallel lines will never intersect. But in non-Euclidean geometry, two parallel lines do intersect. Because if you stand on a railroad track, and both rails of the railroad are parallel to each other, but you look into the distance, what happens to those two lines? They connect, in spite of the fact that they're parallel. And that blew my mind. I was like, I want to study non-Euclidean geometry.
So did you?
No, I'm not really dedicated or cool enough to do something like that.
Well, after I had my longing for math, I'm like, maybe there's a math class online I can take or something, like free math class or something.
You know, I had the same feeling when I was a missionary. I even wrote Miss Dempewolf and I asked her to send me some math tests that I could do on P-Day. No, she never did. I was bummed out. She even said that she would. She's like, I'll send some math tests in my next letter, nerd. And she actually never wrote me a next letter, so. But at American Heritage, we didn't have classes separated into algebra and geometry and trigonometry. We had a program called, it was Saxon math, and it's separated by complexity level, a skill level, and it combines algebra, geometry, and trigonometry all into one. So I never like had a year of just pure geometry or pure algebra.
Yeah.
What do you think of that, huh? And I'm almost there. I'm almost there. In fact, did I ever tell you about the woman who I heard talk about how the things that you're the worst at are probably God's hints that you need to work on that?
You told me that before. Hey, do you want to come?
Sure.
You are better at instructions than I am.
Well, the woman who first suggested that possibility to me was the same woman who told us about non-Euclidean geometry. Because she was the woman who hated math while growing up, and now she's like a professional mathematician. Oh my gosh, it's freaking pink. Where's the
Have you not
instructions?
seen it yet? Whoa! Something is wet! Look, Daddy, how long is it?
Do not touch hot surfaces. Use the handles and knobs. Do not immerse the cord plugs or appliances in water. You know what's crazy, Amy?
What?
There are computers that instead of having like a fan or something to cool it down, it's a computer that's like completely just like sealed tight, and they fill it with oil. Like,
Cool it down?
yeah.
How do you
It looks
do
like
that?
water. So you're looking at it and you're like, how is this possible? Well, oil does not conduct electricity, so everything functions properly.
Oh my gosh.
It's crazy. I don't know why I brought that up.
That is crazy.
Temperature control. Power. Air inlets. Orange heating light. On, off. And slash turn. Air for air body. Air outlet. Removable frying basket. So tiny. Power cord. The crisping tray. Frying basket tray. Use your air fryer. Pre-packaged food. Does it generally roll the recipe?
I hold the dairy and the farmers in the dale. I hold the dairy and the farmers in the dale.
Hi, Daddy. I'm big, 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 big. I'm big, 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 big. I'm big, big, big. I'm big, big, big.
This is gonna be hard because it's so freaking small.
I'm sorry.
No, okay. It's not like they had other options. We're just like, let's get it.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
We're just wondering if you're still stopping by tonight, or what?
Yeah, we're planning on it. We're just still at Lowe's. We just we're at Lowe's.
What, Lowe's? American Fork?
In Spanish Fork, yes.
Oh, Spanish Fork?
Yep. Yep.
Oh, nice. Did you find a fridge?
Yeah, she got a dishwasher. She got a fridge. Well, that fridge isn't super huge, but she got a fridge and a dishwasher for the price of what she was going to pay for a fridge.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's a small, it's not a fancy fridge, but it
Works.
doesn't have
It's
water
a fridge.
Yeah, so we're just waiting. She would pick them out really fast, but we've just been waiting for them to get them out of wherever they store them. So, and we've got to load them. So,
Okay.
yeah, we were planning on it. So,
Okay. Have you looked for his saucer thing yet?
no, we haven't yet.
Okay. Okay.
We haven't.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay,
Well, we were
yeah, I'll
just
let you know.
wondering where you were.
Okay, yeah.
Hi, Charlie.
Did you need to go somewhere?
No, I haven't even showered today. Charlie just wants you to come home in. Oh, sorry. Okay, love you. Bye. I think I'm a good dealer. Sorry. I think I'm a good babe. 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 I think I'm a good babe.
Okay, so the way it works
Okay.
is,
We peel the potatoes and chop them up.
yes, we would need to chop them. The thinner, the better.
Okay.
And then what we would do is we would, I think it wants to, I don't know if we're supposed to add the oil first.
I thought the whole point of an air fryer was not to have oil.
No, the oil is what fries it. Deep frying adds excessive oil and is
I thought
worse
the
for you.
point of an air fryer was to not have oil.
No, it's just cleaner. What you do is you just like spread it or spray it, or paint it up, just like as lightly as you want. But I guess you're supposed to bake them first at 325. It's called blanching.
There's no point in having an air fryer then.
Sure there is. Blanching refers to pre-cooking foods at lower temperatures before the final air fry. So it says for French fries, you can blanch them at 325 and then air fry them at 350 for 15 minutes each. Or there's the recipe here.
I guess an air fryer is not quite what I thought it was.
Well, it's like a fryer, but less gross.